Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum. Brothers and sisters, just want to take a few minutes. Yesterday when we posted something on YouTube concerning Dr. C.R. Lincoln, Black Muslims in America, and you saw that, I mentioned that I was looking for something else, and I came across that, and so I went on with that. But this is what I was looking for. From 2002, the 2000 convention, and what was going on in 2002. And the 2002 convention theme, as we can see, was the lifeblood of Christianity and Islam is peace. Now, that year, I had wrote a book, and just to say all of the books that I've written, it was motivated or influenced by the teachings of Imam W.D. Muhammad, his work, and my effort to be in sync with him and to help as a follower and supporter of Imam Muhammad in as many ways as I could, public talks, financially, my writings motivated by him. I was young when he became the leader. And, so all of this, the writings and whatnot, was influenced by Imam Muhammad and my support for him, and he would support me supporting him. So you see this theme here, the bloodline of Christianity and Islam is peace, right? And this book that I wrote is Christianity and Islam, the road to peace, but the entire name of the book is Christianity and Islam, highlighting their similarities, and it says the road to peace. And this book I wrote in 2002, and as you can see, Imam Muhammad ordered the books, and cleared out everything on the WD publication, WD Muhammad Publications for the convention, and put mainly this book here. As you can see, that's 2000, and the date for this here just before the convention is August 16th, 2002, and you can see this ad here was preparing for the convention August 2nd, 2002. So this is what I wanted to highlight, and just share quickly some of the things that appeared concerning this, in an effort, like all of us, to help Imam Muhammad. And as you know, he was building the relationships always with Christians and Jews and others, and the folklore, etc. Now, as you can see, this book was written in 2002. And the Imam appreciated me doing what I could do to help support him, support the community. Now, I just want to walk through something real quick, not a lot of time. Here, interesting here. This is February 22nd, 2002. They began advertising for the convention. And as you can see, this theme here, the lifeblood of Christianity and Islam is peace. Okay? Now, again, the book title and addresses the same thing, right? Now, what's interesting here is not only did I write the book, I started doing programs on that. And so we did a program in Newark in February. And as you can see in this paper here, February 22nd, 2002, we also had an ad on the back of the paper. Now, here's the ad on the back of that paper. We're in succinct, right? As you can see, the 22nd, to give a talk saluting African American History Month. El-Amin Production presents public lectures by Imam Mustafa El-Amin. Topic, Islam and Christianity, highlighting and reflecting on their similarities. And the book is the road to peace. Okay, so we did that in 2002, and Inshallah, I'll play a clip of that. Now, at this time, The Imam hadn't got the book yet. I probably had just put it out, but we're trying to be in succinct and help in whatever way that we can. So just to let you know that the books that I wrote, Imam read them, and like he always told me, stay independent, but keep him informed. And one of the best way was to do it publicly in the Muslim Journal. And by the way, we were supporting the Muslim Journal 100%, because when you see these ads, that was the cost. Like something like this is $500 at least, half page, and you saw the ads, those full pages was $1,000. So we were supporting the Imam in several ways and supporting the community, and inshallah we will keep doing that. But this is what I just want to share this quickly. Okay, so here's something interesting I just noticed, that after we did that at Rutgers University in Newark, the story was covered exactly a month after that. Look at that, March 22nd, 2002. I hadn't paid that no mind until just now. February, we got the ad talking about what we're going to do on February 24th, right? And then there's coverage of it, and as you can see, highlighting the similarities between Islam and Christianity, shows relationship between Abrahamic faiths, right? And here's the coverage in the Muslim Journal. And always keeping the Imam informed and trying to help and continue to encourage us to keep up the work for our community always. So as you know, the ad for the upcoming convention ran from February on, as you can see. So here's the ad also in that same paper as our article. And in addition to that, we ran an ad letting people know they could get the video. Okay. Now the program was very successful, very productive, and very helpful. So for that same year, 2002, moving along and keeping that theme going in support of the Imam, building relationship and sharing the knowledge. So here now, April paper you see after March. Now for April 21st, we speak on it again, as you can see, and I've played some of this here. The New Africa Festival Committee presents this fundraiser, and the theme was the same theme, Islam and Christianity, highlighting and reflecting on their similarities. Okay, so we stayed with that, and again, I want to emphasize all that I was doing, all of the writings was motivated and influenced by Imam Muhammad. Every book that I wrote and influenced, motivated to help with the Dawah efforts. So now again, just want to show this here, August 2nd, 2002. You probably have the video. I was looking for it. I have it somewhere around here. The public address, the convention with the theme that the Imam had. But just to show you how important or significant, or the Imam appreciated this, as I can show you, a lot of things came under WD publication, and he cleared this out with just a few items with a focus on this book here. That was another big help, like the other books the Imam has told us was a big help. As you know, here's an example of what WD publication normally looks like, right? All of the tapes, videos, books, but for that particular book and going right into the convention, he had everything cleared out and highlighted that book, and for people to get their hands on and read. And main thing was being consistent and in line with the leader as much as I possibly could be, and helping the community, most certainly, this community and the broader community. Now here. We run these ads all the time, you will see, and they were not free. So we were supporting our paper and supporting Imam Muhammad and our community and supporting our paper as much as we possibly can. But just so you know, you can see these ad costs at least $1,000 for a full page ad. But here I want to read this to you, and we'll shut this down. I'll play a clip from my talk on religion of Christianity and Islam, highlighting their similarity. But just want to read this, and I'm looking at this now, haven't looked at it in a long time. But as a collection, the information contained in these 9 books demonstrate and document in some ways the evolution and transition of social and religious thought and thinking of the African American Islamic community that has its origin in the United States of America. Now, look at this here. It is our hope that those who purchase and read some of these early writings, as well as the latest writings of Imam Mustafa El-Amin, will gain a greater appreciation for the noble works of Imam W.D. Muhammad and the value of the transition from the Nation of Islam to the universal teachings of Islam. And these are the books that I've written, and inshallah, sometime in the future, hopefully before I leave this earth, we'll be able to write another book, inshallah. Alhamdulillah. Just wanted to share. This is what I wanted to do yesterday, but like I say, I came across the book on the by Dr. C.R. Lincoln, and that took me in another direction. So I'm definitely honored to have helped and still trying to help, and there's others that's helping. Just keep doing what you're doing, even though Imam Muhammad is not here with us physically, that his spirit, his mind, and our love for him will keep us doing what we have to do. And we do what we have to do for the pleasure of Allah, and Allah most certainly will reward us, and we pray He will reward us and have mercy on us and bless our community to continue to achieve and grow in knowledge, wisdom, and understanding. And as we say, Rabbana atina fi dunya hasanatan wa fi akhirati hasanatan wa qina adhaban nar. Oh, our Lord, give us the excellence in this life and give us the excellence in the next life and protect us from the torment of the hellfire. So if you're interested, I'll play a little clip from my presentation. This is documenting, preserving, and sharing our history.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. That is, with God's name, the merciful benefactor, the merciful redeemer. I greet all of you, Muslims, believers, our friends, and our guests, Christians, people of various faiths, all of you, human beings. I greet you in peace of Assalamu alaikum. And that's what it means, peace be unto you. Now really, I could really just give the greetings and say have a good day. Because what has to be said has been said. I thank all of you, special friends and guests. We had Pastor Howard. We're very thankful for him. We had Sister Andrea Hughes from Rutgers, the president of the Black Organization of Students. Imam Hamid Imam Omar Hamid, a good brother, a graduate of Sister Clara Muhammad School, which at the time was called the University of Islam. This is a university. We were trained to think big. It wasn't a university, but we were made to think big. I'm so happy to see all of you. co-workers, friends that I've grown up with, imams in our community, Imam Wali from Plainfield, Masjid Allah, Imam Abdul Kareem Muhammad, Masjid Al-Haq, Nur, any of the other imams that may be present. These are leaders. And we are thankful. We thank you. We are thankful for all of your presence here. I was moved by my good friend and brother, Imam Abdul Kabir Shamsuddin's remark. You know, you just see yourself as in the work. But he was able to, in a way, put some emphasis on points that I would never even think of because I don't even look at it that way, you know. But to move straight on in our subject, I want to thank all of those who were very helpful to us. And if they're not standing, we'd like for them to stand. My good friend Omar Bey Ali, Brother Jamal. We have a good brother here who was a hard, diligent working brother. He was doing all that he can with the flies and everything. He has a heavy name, brothers and sisters. Elijah Muhammad, Brother Dow, and his brother Mubin. I don't want to leave nobody out. Of course, my wife, El-Amin, and others. You spread the word so that we could be here today. And I'm thankful. So hopefully with those few preliminary remarks, I hope the mic is up loud enough. I know I talk loud, but I always start feeling a little dry. Brother said, drink the water. I said, it's not the water. You do, no matter how many times you do this, you get the gist. I used to box in the ring, and until the first punch is thrown, you got the gist. I have a good friend that is like brothers. I have a lot of them here, actually. But my good friend Ansar Nadir, he's in the back, and I'm so happy to see him. We're like brothers. I have another one over there. I want to call all their names. I acknowledged them last time, but they know what I'm talking about. But let's move straight into our subject, because I can spend a lot of time on that. Islam and Christianity, highlighting and reflecting on their similarities. Why did we choose this topic? And we want to pace ourselves. Why? What was the purpose? The purpose is to help promote better understanding between people of faith, to send an open and clear public signal that we are joining in the great efforts of Imam Waziddin Muhammad and other sincere religious leaders of various faiths, and promoting understanding, love, and respect for each other's faith for the betterment of humanity. That's why we did. This is our purpose. Keep that in mind, what our purpose is. There was a tragic event on 9/11, September 11th. A tragic event. Lives were shattered, lost. Spirits were shattered. A lot came out, a lot of hurt, a lot of pain. There are people here today who were scheduled to be on a plane that went down in Pennsylvania, but they missed their plane. Not because they wanted to, but as an act of God. A terrible event it finds no place in the Quran. Terrorism, suicide has no place in Islam. No place in the Quran. No place in the example of the Prophet. Suicide, terrorism has no root, no flaws. Islam doesn't even hint at that kind of thing. But as a result of that terrible event, and we say something about it because we know this has been happening around the world, but because America is the superpower. When it happened here, everybody stood up. Well, it happens every day in other places. But when it happened here in our country, because of the level of influence of this country, it drew such attention to the act and the sickness that may find its place in religious extremism. The Quran condemns extremism of all kinds. In fact, it associates extremism with hell. It tells us that those who will be condemned to hell will have extreme heat and extreme cold. So in religion, in Islam, Christianity, Judaism, all of these Abrahamic religions, they condemn those kinds of acts. To kill the innocent, to get at the guilty, is condemned outright in Islam. Even during legitimate war, our prophet, may the prayers and peace be upon him, Prophet Muhammad, who was born in Mecca and died in Medina about 1,400 years ago. In legitimate war, he said, don't kill animals. Don't cut down trees. And don't destroy those things that the people will need after the war is over. And only go after the guilty. That's an established war where they're being imposed upon. Where we're being attacked. But in legitimate war, whatever will qualify for legitimate war. So even during times of war, there are rules in Islam. Rules of war, of conduct, of behavior. But to move more specifically into our area, as a result of that, a lot of misunderstanding and other things came to the surface. But something came out of that. A more public dialogue. They had at Yankee Stadium, a big interfaith gathering. Now these things have been going on. We know Imam Muhammad, we know the Pope, and we know others have been doing this before that happened. But I think that brought about the need, that highlighted and put it right on the front, on the front burner. But to move straight into our area, we want to begin by reading from the Quran. Now many of the Muslims will know this, so be patient with us, because those who don't know are the ones that we want to reach. We want to know for understanding. And we welcome you. The Quran says, you will certainly find nearest and love to those who believe. Those who say we are Christians. That's what Muslims are told in the Quran. You will certainly find nearest in love to those who believe, those who say we are Christians. Why? Because among them are men devoted to learning. We're reading this directly from the Quran. And men who are pious. And they are not arrogant. This is from the Quran, from our holy book, from the Quran. That nearest to the Muslims are the Christians. You'll find that in this book. Why? Why? Because they are men and they are women devoted to learning. There are pious ones among them, and they are not arrogant. And it goes on to say, and when they listen to the revelation, the scripture, by the messenger, you will see their eyes overflowing with tears. For they recognize the truth, and they pray, write us down among the wicked. This is from the Quran, that closest to us, that's our God and our ruler, closest to us, to Muslims, are Christians. This is what is in the book. Now, but the word for closeness is in the text of that verse is akrabahum, karabah. And this closeness doesn't just mean close in time, space, proximity. It means relationship. Close in relationship, kareem. Close in relationship, blood, family, friendship. Friendship between Muslims and Christians. This is what the Quran teaches. But it says closest in love. And the word that is used for love here, mawaddat. It comes from waddat, wadu, or Dawood, which is David. Dawood is David, and David is called the prophet of love. The Psalms of David, love. Now in Arabic, there's another word for hebbon, for love, but here it uses this word. That closest to you in love and affection and understanding and his bloodline are Christians. Now, we want to establish that is in the Holy Quran, our book. Quickly, a little history. In the early days of Islam, about 1,400 years ago, there was a man named Muhammad who was born in Mecca. His name was Muhammad. And he was an honest man, a truthful man. The business people, when they would leave the city, they would leave their wealth with him, etc. A common person, a decent person, a noble person. But he used to go to the cave, Hira, and reflect on the condition of his people. He was very concerned about the condition of his people. And one night, while he was reflecting in Cave Hira on the condition of his people in solitude, it is reported that the angel Jibril, or Gabriel, as is mentioned in the Bible, Gabriel, we recognize those angels as well, that angel as well in Islam, Gabriel, Jibril, that he came to Muhammad and gripped him and said, read. He said, I can't read. And he gripped him again. He said, read. He said, I can't read. And he gripped him the third time and said, read in the name of your Lord who created you. And then he began to read. And this raised him up from Muhammad to Prophet Muhammad. That event brought about a metamorphosis from Muhammad to Prophet Muhammad. It brought about a graduation from Muhammad, the businessman, the good family man, the truthful person. It brought about a graduation into the ranks and the brotherhood of the prophet. But the words that was given to him was read, which is education, knowledge. He was a sincere man, a good heart, but what raised him up was read, was a message to his mind. And that raised him up to be the prophet of God, included in the prophethood, with all the other prophets, Jesus, Moses, etc. When he came down and he began to share this message, he began to share the message with his people in Arabia. And because it was new to them and they had a certain system where they worshiped many idols, where they oppressed the weak, the message that he came with was that there's one God. And they were believing in over 350 gods. And when he brought that message, they rejected that message. And they began to persecute him and his followers. And the good Christians here, when you know that you read the Bible, you find that the early Christians were persecuted. And that's how Paul became Saul. He was one of the biggest persecutors of Christians in Christian history. So the Muslims were being persecuted in Arabia by their own people. Because what they came with was different and it was strange. And it went against the grain of what they believed. And as they were persecuted, the prophet, may the prayers and peace be upon him, he sent some of his followers somewhere for asylum, for protection from the persecution by their own people. He sent them to the country of Abyssinia. We're at Abyssinia Baptist Church, right? All right. That's named after the ancient country, Christian country of Abyssinia, which is now called Ethiopia. You know, I like a little humor too, every now and then. But can I get a witness? So he sent them to a Christian nation with a Christian king for protection from his own people. Just think about that. Here's a man that comes with a new doctrine. He's raised in the ranks of the prophet. Not yet accepted by the Christian as a prophet yet, but many Christians today still don't accept him as a prophet yet. They don't know him. Wasn't accepted as a prophet yet, but yet this man says to his followers, go seek asylum with a Christian king in a Christian country. And this Christian man, the reason I'm sending you here, is because not only is he a good man, but he's a fair man. He's a fair and just man. So I know regardless of whether my faith differs with his or not, he's going to give you asylum from oppression. Because Christians, good Christians, and good Muslims oppose oppression on the world, in the world, anywhere. Because their book, the Bible condemns it. The Torah condemns it. The Quran condemns it. So regardless to your religious belief, your ethnic background, you are a human being first. And good Christians, good Muslims, good Jews will protect your human excellence first. Your human life first. Regardless of whether you agree with them religiously or not. So this Christian king, when they were sent there, when Muhammad sent his followers, he gave them asylum and protection from the Arab people, from their own people, from Muhammad's own people. The initial ones that when they was about 14 or so, the persecution continued severely. I mean, severe persecution and torture. This is not new to any of us. When you read the history of religion, you will see sincere religious people have been persecuted for their faith. But this was new, going against the grain of their belief in many idols. Many idols and false worship. But anyway, later he sent 80 of his followers or so into Abyssinia. And his people, those that were pursuing him and persecuting him, said, no, this connection can't happen. We're pursuing them and we want to stop them. So they went to the Christian king also. Now picture this. The prophet and his followers, they're all Arab and Arabian. He comes with a new idea, with a new way of worship. His people reject it. It's strange. This is going to break down our economic system, etc. They persecute them. They flee. They go after them to a Christian country. Now, when they get to the Christian country, they say to this king, we need you to turn over those who came here, the followers of Muhammad. But please take note of this, brothers and sisters. When the king accepted them in for asylum and protection, he didn't say, well, you have to convert to Christianity first. He didn't say, you have to become a Christian before we can protect you. You have to believe in what I believe. He didn't say that. Nor did the Muslim who was seeking protection say, well, I know they're on my back. I know they want to slaughter me. But before I seek asylum and protection, you have to convert to Islam. So he might say, well, I'm protecting you, dude. So they didn't say, you know, I can't come in there because you're worshiping something that we don't worship. I can't come in Abyssinia, you got a Christian king, and you have a Christian way, we're Muslim. I'm not coming in there. I'd rather flee somewhere else, or I'd rather die. I'd rather die than to come in a Christian country and be protected by Christians. They didn't say that. Nor did he impose his religion on them. and when the persecutors pursued them, they told the king all kinds of things, and they said, well, king, no, he condemns their religion, their book condemns Christianity. So he called them forward and said, tell me something of your religion. Before he didn't even ask. He was just a fair and just man. See people being persecuted, and Muhammad sent them there. So they told him something of their religion. They began by telling them something of Jesus, which God will get to that. And the king had no problem with it. They thought what they would say was going to make him upset. And then he said, no, they're not telling you everything. No, they're just telling you the good part. So they recited that we believe what you believe. That, in a nutshell, without reading it right now, that his birth was immaculate. That his birth was immaculate. And that Mary was a blessed and special woman. And that his birth was a unique birth, and it was a sign. And in the Quran it says the birth of Jesus is like that of Adam. That Adam was created from dust, from neither mother or father. So here's one that we're saying is created without a father and just a mother. Well, anyway, they presented their story. But they also presented this, that the Quran says that he's a prophet of God. And this is what they thought they were going to kill him in. They didn't say he's the son of God or God. Well, we will differ on that, you know, but we're looking at what's simple. So when he presented this, that we recognize as a prophet of God, noble prophet of God, the king did this. He took his cane and he drew a line in the sand and said, your religion and our religion is just the extent, the difference of this line. And not the line going this way, but this way. and he gave them the assignment. He gave them protection. Why are we mentioning that? We gave it to you from the Quran, which is our guide, our rule, our life. Our life. Just as the Bible is your rule and guide and your life. So no matter what you see from our behavior, what you hear from our mouth and the media, it's in the Quran chapter 5, verses 85 and 86. Get yourself a Quran and you'll read it yourself. No matter what you see us do by our conduct, know what the book says. And you can judge us by our book. And if we know what your book says, we will judge you by your book. Because we will be off. We will get into our personal things. We will get into hurt and anger. And lash out at Christians. Lash out at Muslims. After the World Trade Center situation and before that, angry at Muslims. Lash out. Kill them all. Drive a car into a mosque. But the same with us. Lash out at Christians. I wanted to be a Muslim, but my mother wouldn't let me. They kicked me out the house. So you can see the clear message in the Quran was saying, regardless of what happened to you personally, man, God says they are closest to you. But you reflected on the experience you might have had in your house when you became a Muslim. I had it, others had it. So I had to come back and say, well, Mom, we still got to keep this thing working the right way, you know. God put that on me, you know. But that's what the book says. And we wanted to show you in the early days of Islam, the early development of Islam, that Muslims and Christians had a good relationship. And that Muslims depended, especially in that situation, on good Christians to protect and to help us, just as today. Now, I want to quote from Imam W.D. Muhammad, the leader of the largest group of Muslims in America. He's the son of the Honorable Elijah Muhammad, leader of the Muslim American Society, very well informed man. In his new book, The Champion We Have in Common, The Dynamic African American Soul, he says, we don't desire to oppress the American people, or to dominate over Christians, or to take their churches away from them. That is un-Islamic. If we want to be in a good situation to show that our responsibility as citizens and as members in a mixed community of Muslims, we have to get rid of those ideals that are making us artificial and anti-human in our mental makeup. End of quote. Now we open up with Assalamu alaikum. Muslims, you know this, thankful to God, Allah, who we call Allah, that you are here. And I ask you to be patient, because we're trying to share some concepts which you know that our good friends, brothers and sisters, may not be familiar with, because we want to have understanding. The President of these United States, George Bush, and the Secretary of State and Defense and other high-level leadership came out publicly and said Islam is a religion of peace. Regardless of whatever they're doing that we may not agree with, what I'm saying is they came out publicly and said what we've been trying to get people to understand for a long time. And said Islam is a religion of peace, and that they are adherents of people of peace, and have made many contributions to the world. That has never been said as publicly and as openly, perhaps since this country has been in existence. But it is not their obligation to teach the people and to share with them what our religion is about. That was good what they did, coming from that level of leadership, to say to the world and to the country that No, Islam is a part of the Abrahamic faith and on equal level with all of the other religions. Because for so many years in this country, it was not seen that way by those who were not Muslims. So they said that it is a religion of peace. So I want to comment on when we say Assalamu alaikum. Assalamu alaikum just means peace be unto you. May the peace be unto you. It comes from the word salam, which root is salaman. 3 letters, the S, the L, and the M in English, the sin, the lam, and the mean in Arabic. That's the root. And off of that, you may get other words that spin off of it, but it's connected to the root. It may give different intensities, etc., as it spins off. But that's the root. So, salam, say assalamu alaikum. It comes from salam. And what is alaikum? Just listen to the word, alaikum. Allah means over, above. Above you, on you. And kum, K-U-M, just means you. You, plural. You, plural. So if I greet my good brother Wali, Imam Wali, as one person, I still don't say Assalamu alaikum to you, singular. No. We still say to the individual, Assalamu alaikum. It's plural. Why? Because the peace that we're talking about is not just a singular peace. It means may you have peace in a plural sense in your total life. Peace on your spirit, peace on your mind,